Eagle Eyes, Jennifer here.
Jennifer, I need your help. I caught a thief at our masquerade party. He tried to steal the priceless emerald pendant of my friend, the actress Amy Joanna.
Wow, Mr. Starr, good thing you caught him. But why do you need our help?
Because someone here at the party is in cahoots with this scoundrel and I can't figure out who. Come on over to the Richview Historical Society and hurry. Bye.
These people are all in costume. And look, Mr. Starr is holding someone for the police. We better get the full story from him.
Thanks for coming so quickly, kids. While we wait for the police, let me tell you what happened at our midnight masquerade. It isn't really midnight, but the lights were off and the blinds drawn. We were dancing in pairs by candlelight. I was dancing with someone dressed up in a big green alien costume. I don't know who it was. Then Amy screamed that someone had grabbed her pendant. It was too dark to see anything, but I heard the click of a door shutting. So, on a chance, I ran into the next room, and I found this guy trying to run away. He had the pendant in his hand. Good thing I'm dressed up like one of the Three Musketeers. I whipped out my rapier and yelled, "En garde!" Did I ever tell you I played D'Artagnan, the famous swordsman, when I was an actor? This guy surrendered, and I placed him under citizen's arrest. Trouble is, he didn't grab the pendant. He never even came into the room. Someone else here stole the emerald from around Amy's neck and passed it to my prisoner here through the side door. We need to know who the real thief is so the police can arrest them both. Until we find out, nobody leaves this room. Maybe you can get this guy to tell us who he was working for. I'm afraid that right now I suspect Mr. Green. He's the only one who admits he wasn't dancing. The crook couldn't dance with someone and grab the jewel at the same time.
You got me all right, but you'll never figure out who my partner is. I'm shutting up till I talk to my lawyer.
Look, I don't know who took Amy Joanna's emerald. I can only tell you Nicola Hamble didn't do it.
Whoa, Chuck. Nobody said she did. But how do you know she's innocent?
Well, I was watching her the whole time. Even in the dark I could see her. Nicola never stopped dancing, so she couldn't have been the thief.
Were you dancing with anybody, Chuck?
Yeah, sure. But I really can't remember who I was with. It wasn't Nicola Hamble. That's all I know. Sorry.
This is no fun. One of the people in this room is a criminal, and Mr. Starr won't let anyone out until we find out who it is.
Don't worry, Nicola. We'll figure out who it is. Can you tell us what you think happened?
Let me see. Who was I dancing with? We changed partners so many times. When Miss Joanna screamed, I was dancing with a man who didn't have a hat on. That's all I remember.
Do you have any idea who might have passed the jewel to the thief?
No, I really don't. Sorry.
It's Amy Joanna, the famous actress. Gosh, she's beautiful.
Let me tell you, detectives, what happened. Perhaps you can get to the bottom of this mystery. It was dark, and we were dancing and having a good time. We changed partners many times. Then suddenly, a hand came out of the dark, and in a flash my emerald pendant was gone. I screamed as loud as I could. That is a scream I usually use only for horror films, or nasty directors, and it is very loud.
Who were you dancing with? Could that person have grabbed your pendant?
Let me see. It was a man in a big hat. It must have been Mr. Green, or Mr. Starr, or perhaps Chuck. And no, my partner did not grab the pendant. The hand came around from behind.
Do you have any idea who might have grabbed the jewel and passed it to the thief Mr. Starr caught?
No, obviously it was not myself, and I think Mr. Starr's heroic action places him above suspicion. But many people have admired my jewel, and I'm sure any one of them would love to have it for their own.
Ms. Case, what an excellent costume!
Thanks, Jennifer. It's fun, but a little hard to dance in.
Were you dancing with anyone when Amy Joanna screamed?
Oh yes, it takes a lot to keep me off the dance floor. I can't really see well through these bug eyes, but I know my partner had some kind of hat or wig on his head.
Do you have any idea who might have passed the jewel to the thief?
No, I don't. I could barely see my own tentacles in that darkness.
Oh, dear. As president of the Historical Society, I'm afraid this is all my fault. It was my idea to have a midnight masquerade in the middle of the day. I thought it would be fun. And now look what's happened.
We'll try to fix things, Mrs. Harper. Can you tell us what happened?
I was dancing with, I'm not sure who. It was so dark, you know. But he was dressed all in white. Then Miss Jolana screamed. I stopped dancing and rushed around trying to turn on some lights. When I did, we saw that brave Mr. Starr had captured that horrid man.
Do you have any idea who might have passed the jewel to the thief?
Well, you know, I'm not one to repeat gossip, but I have heard Swank's Hotel is not doing well at all. Rumor has it someone who works at Swank's may be out of a job real soon.
When Amy Jolana let out that yell, I thought the world had ended. She can really belt it out. I was cheek to cheek with the gorilla at the time, so it couldn't have been us that snatched the jewel.
Hey, who is that under all that fur?
It's me, Silvia Torres. Ooh, it is rather warm in here.
I hate to say this, but I noticed that Mr. Green wasn't dancing at the time. I bet he stole the necklace. If a guest was dancing with someone else like me and Queen Kong here, they couldn't have taken the jewel.
I don't know about that. But something about that man Sergio bothers me. Why doesn't he tell anybody his last name? I think he might be a criminal on the run. It's possible, you know.
Sergio, you look great in your white chef's outfit. But where's your chef's hat?
I didn't wear a hat. I think chef hats look silly.
I know what you mean. Can you tell us what you saw?
I was dancing with a woman, but I'm not really sure which one. She was wearing a mask. That's why people have costume parties. There is so much mystery. Anyway, this woman and I were dancing together when Amy Jolana screamed.
Do you have any idea who might have passed the jewel to the thief?
Lots of people were admiring her necklace. The emerald was huge. I remember that Mrs. Harper, Miss Case, and Mr. Green seemed most fascinated by the pendant.
Guilty, guilty, guilty. I sentence you children to a lifetime of solving mysteries. What brings you to our midnight masquerade, eh?
We're here investigating the crime, Mr. Green. Someone tried to steal Amy Jolana's emerald. Didn't you know?
Oh, my heavens, no. I wondered what all the fuss was about. I heard the scream, but I thought someone had lost a contact lens or something. Theft, how dreadful.
Were you dancing with anybody when you heard the scream?
I had been earlier, but I was taking a break from the dancing when all the commotion started. We were doing the twist earlier, and it took the wind out of me.
Thanks, Mr. Green. That's important. Do you realize what this means? If Mr. Green is telling the truth about not dancing, then someone else didn't have a partner to dance with.
Well, of course I wouldn't lie, Jennifer. But how do you know that someone else would be without a partner?
There were 10 guests, Mr. Green, and everyone was dancing in pairs. But if you weren't dancing, that means someone else wasn't dancing too. Isn't that right? Somebody who says he or she was dancing actually was busy stalking Miss Jolana's priceless pendant.
Of course. I never thought of that.
We have all the facts. Which 3 clues do you think best show who conspired to steal Amy Jolana's necklace? We have all... Great! Now point out the person you suspect of nabbing the necklace. Yes, Mrs. Harper was the jewel grabber, and you can prove it. Let's check the evidence. Mr. Green told us he wasn't dancing with anyone. Since there were 10 guests in all, that meant there were 4 couples dancing, Mr. Green by himself, and someone grabbing the jewel and handing it through the door to an accomplice. The other 9 guests all claimed they were dancing with a partner. But 9 people do not split evenly into pairs. Someone was lying. Looking at the testimony, we noticed that Mrs. Harper said she was dancing with a person dressed all in white when Amy Jolana screamed. we noticed there was only one person dressed all in white, the chef Sergio. But Nicola Hamble said her dancing partner was a man without a hat or wig on his head. There was only one man at the party without a hat or a wig, Sergio. Either Mrs. Harper or Nicola Hamble was lying. But which one? Chuck said he was watching Nicola all the time, and he was convinced she didn't do it. And Sergio said he was dancing with a woman in a mask. Nicola Hamble was wearing one, but Mrs. Harper wasn't. She was lying. She wasn't dancing with Sergio. She was trying to steal Amy Giolana's emerald pendant.
To be sure, we can match up the other guests to their dancing partners, and what they said proves to be true. Mr. Polholsky and the woman in the gorilla suit, Sylvia Torres, Amy Giolana and a man in a big hat, Chuck.
Mr. Starr said he was dancing with a person in a space alien costume. That was Ms. Case.